Hello and welcome to Now Showing. I am Atika Farooqi. On this show, every week we talk to people who have defined cinema, live the passion for cinema each single day of their lives, whose work makes history and affects us in many ways. From the magic of lights, camera, and action to the relevance of film and cinema as a tool to help and change the world. Everything is right here. And we have some really special people on the show. Let's begin with the headlines. Akshay Kumar starrer Bell Bottom is that pacey entertainer that you don't want to miss. Malika Sherawat is back on the scene with stories from Hollywood and some allegations on Bollywood. And Nikhil Advani is the talk of the town with 3 big projects on various platforms. What does it take to be a successful filmmaker? He tells us. Let's talk about Bell Bottom that releases on Amazon Prime this week. Akshay Kumar is back with a nationalistic film that does not have chest-thumping narrative or slogans of patriotism, but yes, it does get very slick, stylish, pacey in its way of telling an important historical event from the 80s. It's not a biography like Sher Shah, but it does mix documentary style with commercial cinema techniques to pack a punch at a movie that's a pleasurable experience, especially on the big screen. It's a sharp telling of a hijack in 1984. 210 passengers on board, the plane travelling from Amritsar to Lahore to Dubai. Most of the scenes in Lahore and Dubai seem very real. With the same flavour as D-Day, Airlift and Ayyari, this is an edge-of-the-seat thriller that needs to be watched keenly to not miss a detail, as well as entertains with a well-sung song, gorgeous background music by Daniel B. George and crisp writing by Asim Arora and Parvez Sheikh. Quite authentically directed by director Ranjit Tiwari, known for Lucknow Central, this one does not have even one moment of "what the hell are you talking about?" No. Akshay Kumar, as always, is great as a lean-built, raw undercover agent who takes this espionage thriller to heights with his sheer agility, physical and mental. Lara Datta in the role of Indira Gandhi is quite commendable with her diction and pronunciation that suits her, and body language, of course. Though some scenes between her and the agent, I mean, of course, the Prime Minister and the agent, are little underwhelming for its creative liberties. Akshay, that is Anshul Malhotra's personal life in the movie was only needed maybe to appease to the lovers of mainstream cinema. However, it need not be there. And a word of praise for the actor in the negative role. That is Zain Khan Durrani, whose calm face with ruthless eyes did all the talking, as opposed to shouting slogans of civil unrest in Punjab or any other religious jargon. In all, it was a pleasure to watch and highly recommended for you. You know, women, cinema and current issues of society are closely linked. Each has a bearing on the other. Our famous Hindi poet Munshi Premchand once said, अगर पुरुष में स्त्री के गुण आ जाएं तो वो महात्मा बन जाता है और स्त्री में पुरुष के गुण आ जाएं तो वो कुल्टा बन जाती है. Pardon this language, but this quote is quite famous. His legendary works include Godan, Karmbhumi, Gaban, Mansarovar, Eidgah, etc. In 2003, Malika Sherawat was Reema Lamba. And then she changed her name and took over her mother's name as a symbol of revolt against patriarchy. Belonging to Haryana, she has now worked with Jackie Chan, been a regular at Cannes, and her latest Naqab drops on MX Player now. Here is her interesting take on a woman's journey in a world of constant heartbreaks. Welcome back in action. Welcome back to the screen. I mean, Indian screen. We've been missing you for long. Tell me, what have you been up to, girl, in the last 10 years?
Just living my life, traveling the world, having a great time. I did a few international projects. I did Politics of Love. It was very critically very well received. Box office-wise, it did very well. I met with President Obama, not once, because of the film, twice. I did a music video with Bruno Mars. So it has really been it has been a great ride. I mean, it has its ups and downs, a lot of success. I've lost out on a few things, fame, but it has been good. Okay, I come from Haryana, okay, which is, according to me, now these are my views, which is the most misogynistic, women-hating place on planet Earth, I think. if you talk about gang rapes and female feticide, infanticide, honor killings, you name it, Haryana is the flag bearer for all those things. It's a miracle I even exist. So I think I did pretty well for myself.
You made it, girl. Not just alive, but successful. Congrats on that. And I remember last time you had spoken about it first in an international publication and then you came back. Certain sections of media made a big deal about it. And you had a very valid point, girl, when you said if we don't talk about it, then who else will?
As a society, we are very hypocritical towards women. I've always said it. And I got into a lot of trouble with a certain section of the media when I said that, women are treated like cattle in our society. I think what people think of me, their perception of me or their judgments of me, it's their business. I'm not concerned with it. I'm living my life. I have never compromised on my self-respect. I've never compromised, period. And that is one of the big reasons I lost out on so many meaty roles in women, opposite A-list heroes, because I wouldn't compromise with them. And they would rather prefer to cast their girlfriends, who would.
Okay.
Welcome was such
and when
a
you
huge...
say you are not ready to compromise, what exactly do you mean by that word?
I would get a call and say, come to my house at 4 a.m. And I would say, I have not come here to sell myself. I've come here to make a career, and also I'm from Haryana, self-respect ki dose bahut zyada hai mujh mein. So, and I would decline. And I would decline, and that would mean, okay, then this girl is difficult. This girl is really difficult. We don't want to cast her. Welcome was such a big hit. And I was so appreciated for Welcome. But in Welcome 2, the director cast his girlfriend. So what can I do? And what am I supposed to do then? I recently worked with Rajat Kapoor. He's given me a great role. Shamik Sen, who's directed Naqab, he's fabulous with actors. I think we have to really be very no-nonsense. We have to have that kind of an approach towards it and really put in the work, put in the hours.
Tell me about your best experiences abroad. You were regular at Cannes. You were doing a lot of projects in Los Angeles. You appeared twice in with Jackie Chan in films. I remember, you were caged inside you caged yourself for 12 hours to talk about Save a Girl NGO. And you appeared with live snakes to promote your movie. And that's very enterprising of you. I guess your experiences outside of India have been more interesting. Tell me about that.
First of all, let's talk about why I left India. And like you said that, now we have kind of warmed up to you. But there was a time when there was so much of judgment leveled against me, and there was so much of a character assassination where a certain section of the media and women in the media were attacking me, fabricating stories about me constantly. It got so much, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to leave the country for that. And I was like, if they can't accept me here, I'm a modern, independent Indian woman. And if I have to face this kind of a lie and this kind of a backlash for being honest, for not being hypocritical, for calling out the misogyny and saying things as they are, I might as well leave, because it's not worth the emotional torture. Because as it is, my family was not supportive of me being an actress. And they are very, very conservative, very traditional at the time. They were not very supportive. So that pain, I was already carrying, that baggage. And on top of it, to be attacked constantly by the women in the media, which is so shocking to me. I couldn't believe it. जैसे कहते हैं ना, ज़मीन खिसक गई मेरे पैरों तले. Why are these women attacking me? They are my sisters. And I'm speaking for women.
And lastly, Malika, tell me, in your scheme of things, now that you're doing this and that, what are your plans of marriage, of kids?
You don't need a marriage to complete you. Come on. You're God's creation. You're perfect in the way God made you. I believe that. And I think it's really personal. You should really make your own decision. You should not be bullied into the decision. So there should be no society pressure on you to make that decision. It should be your decision. I mean, what's the big deal? If you want to get married, if you get married. If you want to have a family, have a family. We are living in the 21st century.
Lastly, tell me more about Nakab. When was it offered to you? Were you abroad at that time or here? How much time did you take to shoot it?
Nakab is an investigative thriller, and in the thriller, there is the death of an actor, a young actor, and I play the Zora Mehra, who's the queen of television. And people are blaming the girlfriend, people are blaming it's a suicide, it's a murder, what is going on? There is a lot of speculation. And what we saw in our country also kind of reminded me of that. There was a death of an actor and a lot of blame went to the girlfriend. Again, our misogynistic attitude.
Yeah.
The girlfriend was blamed for no reason at all. She was vilified. And if you remember, they were women vilifying her.
On TV, yes.
So when you tell me things have changed, when something like this happens, it makes me really question again, how have we progressed where women are concerned in the 21st century? When we as women are attacking another woman with no valid proof, only speculation.
Wonderful. Somebody famously said, well-behaved women rarely make history. Thank you for speaking up. And I wish you all the best for Nakab and all the projects that you do in future.
It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
Subtlety was never the word for her. Literature maybe needs to update its version of good and bad women. Heading for a break. After the break, we speak to Nikhil Advani, the producer of Bell Bottom, The Empire and Mumbai Diaries. His production house completes 10 years. Welcome back to Now Showing. I am Atika Farooqi. Kal Ho Na Ho, D-Day, Salaam-e-Ishq director Nikhil Advani, who's getting a lot of praise for his web series Mumbai Diaries 2611 that premiered last week, is the grandnephew of N.N. Sippy, the big Bollywood producer of films like Meri Jung, Sargam and Wo Kaun Thi. Nikhil grew up in old Mumbai and his understanding of cinema is from the likes of his mentors like Karan Johar, Aziz Mirza, Sudhir Mishra. As his production house, MA Entertainment completes 10 years, here is his take on filmmaking.
आप very famous legendary producer Nari Sippy के grand nephew हैं, and you're also second cousin of Ekta Kapoor and Tushar Kapoor. सबसे पहले अपनी जो roots हैं आपकी हिंदी film industry में उनके बारे में briefly बताइए, so that the viewers can know that there's so much credibility that you bring along.
The thing is, Atika, is that whether it was Nari uncle or whether it was Shobha auntie and Ekta, Tushar. So Shobha auntie's brother Ramesh Sippy is a very, very, very renowned film distributor and is very close to my family. I remember him calling up my father when he saw my name as an associate director in Kuch Kuch Hota, and he said, "Why did you not tell us that he wanted to be in the film industry?" I was actually very taken by what is called parallel cinema or serious cinema or whatever. I worked with Saeed Mirza, I worked with Kundan Shah, I worked with Sudhir Bhai, Sudhir Mishra, I worked with Aziz Mirza. I worked on Naya Nukkad as an AD, then a writer. So I really did not tell my family at all, or people within the film industry and my family, that I wanted to actually that I was wanting to make the kind of films that I'm making even right now, right? So a young rebel from college trying to impress his girlfriend, who's now his wife, and saying, "Ki boss, I want to make very, very cool, very, very serious cinema," and that kind of stuff. That's what I went towards. But yeah, so it was only also my father is an IIT graduate. He's a science person. He's an IIT graduate. And when I decided to join the film industry, my grandmother, after I've been Kalona, in fact, in 2004, my grandmother turned to my father and says, "Abhi sab ye sab ho gaya, usse achhi naukri dilwa do." You know. So for my grandmother, who's actually Nari Sippy's sister, being in the film industry was never considered as a career, right? It was never considered a job. It is only now, 28 years later, where I'm having this conversation with you. Three different pieces of content have released, that people actually today are proud to send their children into the film industry. So I'm very lucky that I have seen that happening in the film industry.
Yes. And as a person, right now you're close to 50, around 50 years of age. You started your career in early 20s. so many years as a working professional in the industry and going back to your childhood. Tell me, what are the big watershed moments that you saw in the film industry? Like, I am not from the film industry, but we have always heard of stories, उनका घर बिक गया, वो इतने बड़े फिल्म लवर थे कि उनकी सारी प्रॉपर्टी उस फिल्म के लिए बिक गई, but his passion for cinema remained. Are there some stories like that?
I remember when we were doing Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and Yash Johar at that time had done a film called Duplicate with Shah Rukh Khan, and he almost had to sell everything to get finished Duplicate.
Really?
And yet he was making a film for his son Karan Johar without telling anybody that the money was running out. And if Kuch Kuch Hota Hai had not worked, it would have been tabahi for Dharma production. But these are the Yash Chopra and his relationship with his son Aditya Chopra and his relationship with his father Yash Chopra, how Adi approaches films, how Karan approaches films, the watershed moments of the film industry. I mean, I can tell you that for me, a watershed moment was when I saw Dil Chahta Hai, and I looked at and I said, wow, Hindi films can be like this also. I mean,
Yeah.
Hindi films can be cool. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I can actually make films about people who I went to college with, and what I and put out music that I that I grew up listening to, and of course then my this thing, whether it's Kalo Na Ho or the flop of Salu Salamesh or the flop of Chandni Chowk to China, the National Award of Delhi Safari, D-Day being a turning point in my life. Also bringing my sister and a very good friend of mine to start my own company, being able to allow people who have worked with me as assistants and associates to put out their own films. These have been very big moments for us.
For viewers, tell us, how has this web series, the world of web series, as a new proposition for everything, investing money, good entertainment, at par with the Netflix, Amazon, the Western world ka content that we see, how is it changing the mainstream cinema? You as a producer can talk about that.
Whether it is Pankaj Tripathi is the most well-known face today on this thing. Manoj Bajpayee, who I know he's been a friend of mine for 25 years. Right, I have spent hours of drinking with him, where he is complaining about commercial cinema. He is the number one star on OTT, right? I cannot be happier. I cannot be happier for the times that we are living in. I cannot be more celebratory of the times that we are living in. As a filmmaker, who would allow me to make a story of doctors, nurses, ward boys, hospital staff, 8 episodes, मतलब in real this thing, hospital भी मतलब सब गंदा दिख रहा है, ये क्या है, but मतलब वाह वो लोग ने करके दिखाया. I mean, we just launched The Empire. So I'm saying, whether it is The Empire, whether it is Mumbai Diaries 2611, I'm making a film about a mother whose children were taken away by a child services agency in Norway with Rani Mukherjee. We are doing Satyamev Jayate 2. Milab Zaveri is making a film. Yes. I mean, today, honestly speaking, I can turn around and say I will not release Satyamev Jayate 2 till the theaters open. Why? Because I feel that it's a film made for an audience that needs to be sitting and clapping and giving CTs.
And lastly, Nikhil, after having produced Mumbai Diaries, and you have seen the situation of the medical condition of India, particularly of Mumbai, what are your takeaways from this?
I think that given what we have gone through COVID, my urge would be, my humble request, urge to every single corporate house that is there in this country, that is functioning in this country, that is succeeding in this country, that is selling its products in this country, if they can just understand that for the next 5 years, the only thing that they need to put money into is health infrastructure.
तुमसे मिलके ऐसा लगा तुमसे मिलके. You can't not sing this song when you mention Suresh Vadkar. The singer, who recently released a new song for the ongoing Ganpati festival, speaks to my colleague Vishal Chatkara about what it was like recording with the music maestro Ilaiyaraaja, and of course his latest offering. Listen in.
गजमुखा तेरे दर पे झुका, नत नत सर मेरा ओ लंबोदरा रे, आसरा भक्तों पर तेरा, तू स्वामी मेरा और तू ही सखा रे।
सुरेश जी, ये आपका नया गाना है टाइटल गजमुखा। हालांकि ये पहली बार नहीं है कि आपने गणपति फेस्टिवल के लिए कोई गाना बनाया हो या रिलीज किया हो।
जी
आपका
जी
एक और बहुत फेमस गाना है, रिलीजियस गाना है, ओमकार स्वरूपा।
जी जी जी।
प्लीज टेल अस मोर अबाउट दिस न्यू सॉन्ग गजमुखा।
ये एक्चुअली श्रेयस मेरा शागिर्द है, श्रेयस पुराणिक। तो उसने लास्ट ईयर मुझे ये मुखड़ा सुनाया था, तो हमने सोचा था लास्ट ईयर इसको हम लोग रिकॉर्ड करें और इसको रिलीज़ करें, मगर वो हो नहीं पाया था। आगे लिखना भी था उसको, तो इस बार हमने ये सोचा कि भाई महीना भर पहले से हम लोगों ने तैयारी शुरू की। तो सावेरी ने बहुत अच्छा इसको रूप दिया है, गाना बहुत अच्छा लिखा है, और श्रेयस ने अंतरे वगैरह भी इसके बहुत खूबसूरत कंपोज किए। और मैंने, मेरी वाइफ पद्मा ने और श्रेयस, हम तीनों ने मिलकर ये गाना गाया है।
लास्ट से मैंने आपसे बात की थी, आपने मुझे अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताया था राज कपूर जी के साथ काम करने का। दिस टाइम आई रियली वांट टू टॉक टू यू अबाउट वर्किंग विद अनदर जीनियस कंपोजर, दैट वाज इलैयाराजा, जिनके साथ आपने सदमा और शिवा के लिए गाने गाए।
सुपर फैंटास्टिक। आई नेवर विल फॉरगेट राजा साहब थ्रू आउट माई लाइफ। ऐसा कंपोजर, ऐसा गुणी आदमी जिनके साथ काम करने का मौका मिलना भी एक बहुत नसीब की बात है। सबसे ज़्यादा कि मैंने डिसिप्लिन नाम की चीज़ ओनली मद्रास में देखी है। सबको भाई साहब उतनी इम्पोर्टेंस है जितनी म्यूज़िक डायरेक्टर जो मेन कुर्सी पे जो विराजमान होते हैं, उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंस एक छोटे से साइड रिदम बजाने वाले को भी होती है वहाँ पे। और उसका कारण है, अगर आपको 8 बजे बुलाया है तो 8 बजे आप अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट के साथ अपनी कुर्सी पे बैठे होते हैं। मैं मद्रास में जाके रिकॉर्डिंग करता था उनके लिए। राजा साहब बराबर 7 बजे वो प्रसाद स्टूडियो में आते थे, अपने म्यूज़िक रूम में जाते थे। 8 बजे जो कुर्सी पे बैठते थे लोग, उसके बाद ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन की रिहर्सल, 10 सवा 10 बजे सिंगर को बुलाया जाता था। आप सोचिए 8 बजे से 10:30 से 10:45 बजे के बीच में आपका गाना पूरा रिकॉर्ड हो जाता था। क्या मजाल है कोई म्यूजिशियन पान खा के थूकने के लिए बाहर जाएगा, क्या मजाल है, क्योंकि म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर की इज्जत ही इतनी होती थी।
When people ask me if I went to film school, I tell them, no, I went to films, said Quentin Tarantino. There are many filmmakers who never did actually, like Yash Chopra, Anurag Kashyap, Satyajit Ray, Abhishek Chaubey. To be a cinephile, you just need passion for cinema. See you next week. Till then, ta-da!